The wonderful thing as technology evolves and companies like ours focus so much on making this so applicable across every job function is this role that comes together. We call it a business analyst in some cases, but citizen developer is a name that's taking so much more of a prominence here. When we think about RPA and intelligent automation, the emphasis typically falls into platforms like this around, look, IT has a significant role to play in managing, configuring, and operating the system. So there's always going to be the need for an infrastructure, sort of a configuration manager, a control room administrator type of a role. There is always the developer aspect to how do you build automation, how do you build bots, where you don't need to be technical, you don't need to be a computer science software, but you have the business knowledge and you're able to apply that and use platforms and products like Automation Anywhere to be able to create bots with ease, with the right user experience, knowing the process that need to be automated. We do see the need for complex bots that are industry scale, industry strength that get built out with the developers. And if you're a Python developer or if you've got a hardcore computer science background, there's tremendous value to building bots to specifications as well. For every one of us, we look at how we live a better life. And finance, we put so much focus on our financial health. There are so many apps today around our physical health, whether it's running or how you measure your heartbeat or how many steps you walk every single day. We put a lot of effort in the well-being of our family. There's effort and thought goes into faith and giving back. So every one of these things, there is such an investment focus for every one of us. And learning is yet another dimension that is becoming that much more important for the millennials, should be important for everybody. So how do we measure our learning index? And be it automation, be it something else, if I'm a working professional, how do I stay on top of what is relevant to my career, to my intellect, to my staying on top and staying ahead of the curve? And automation is driving the workforce of tomorrow, it's shaping the workforce of tomorrow. And it is almost a core component, just like you may say cardio or weights or stretching or whatever one of those from a health point of view would be. It's just something that just needs to be part of a core focus for everybody that's a working professional as they look at growing and furthering and getting more successful in their careers. Our customers, our partners, a lot of them are looking at how processes that are in the hands of front office or back office, the folks that are driving efficiencies, that are driving value, that are trying to get employees be more productive by getting rid of the mundane. This is where the value of being well-trained, capable, and being able to take and within a matter of an hour or two, being able to get comfortable with the product and being able to use it in the context of automation, it's getting more and more mainstream. So business analysts become a very big part and target audience from learning and development. When we think about HR functions, when we think about shared services, command centers, we think about finance. And my organization is a learning organization, and I have good examples of just from a learning and development how we automate processes, because everything is about manipulating data, cutting, pasting, capturing, modifying, and every line of business has this. So we see this as a need in every function, every facet, every role within an organization. One of the things that I've hired hundreds, almost thousands of people over my career here in technology. And for the longest time, and even today, we see presentation skills required. But for the longest time, there would be need MS, Excel, productivity, tools, knowledge. So at one point, it was almost an ask of, hey, we want you to have Excel skills and PowerPoint and Word. Today, that's sort of taken for granted. We don't, if somebody comes without those skills, then they probably should not even be in the marketplace, right? So I perceive a future not in the far distant that, it's going to shift to saying RPA skills highly desirable. And we're seeing many resumes or job postings that really talk about the desirability of having these skills. It will shift very quickly in the next year or two to RPA skills required. And perhaps within 5 years or less, it'll just be assumed that you have these skill sets.